Morning, guys. Here we are, 20th of August. What a horrible day it is outside, lashing down with rain. But are the charts lashing down? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to see if we can find you a currency pair to trade today by looking at the strengths, strongest and weakest of the market. And then we're going to look at the economic calendar, see if there's any times you need to be aware of. And then finally, we're going to look at asset of the week, which is gold. So let's jump ourselves straight into this. And we'll start with the strengths. Now, I do this every morning for the guys. It's a good indicator of what's moving and shaking in the markets. And if you're part of the squad, you get to see it straight away. It's currently 7:15. It'll be up in a couple of minutes' time. And then goes public mid-morning. So it's worthwhile checking down in the description and seeing what the squad's all about. And you'll also get links to the WhatsApp and Discord down in the description as well. So the biggest mover and shaker was New Zealand and JPY. Now the New Zealand has rocketed to the top with a big shift, but JP is losing ground yet again. Now yesterday was a big old shake up in the markets. It was Treasury announcements followed by FOMC. It was going to be a strange day to start with, and a lot of people would have gotten hurt yesterday. Fortunately, more through good nature or good luck than good planning, I was actually doing my tax affairs yesterday, so I didn't get caught in it. So it was one of them things, but it was a good discussion last night in the live call. But as we go through this, if I'm looking to see what I would trade, the euro is still in the top three, which we can see here. And it's also paired against the dollar, which is actually slumped. Okay, slump way back down again. So again, what we're looking for here is separation. Now, it may look like a good pairing, but they're actually both losing ground quickly. So it's not as good as it looks. Now, the next one is the US CAD, which comes here. Now, this particular block is just the majors. They move regardless. Now, I don't trade the US CAD, but if we look at it, you've got the US here and you've got the CAD up there. Yes, separation. They are moving separate ways. That's moving down CAD. So the US CAD is probably the better of the two, looking at it. Now, with the markets I personally trade, well, I've just wrote off euro dollar. Then we have pound. Pound's middle of the ground. It's not so clever. US JPY, both of them are sitting together. What I have a tendency to do at this point is think, well, okay, what about other things? Maybe it's an indices. Well, if it's an indices, euro's starting to drop, but it's pretty high. It's also losing ground. That'll put pressure into the DAX. Could be a good opportunity on the DAX because it works in a correlation. As one goes down, the other goes up, sort of thing. Okay, so for me, probably the DAX today. Now, flicking over onto the economic calendar, if we just put it on the 20th, I never bother with low impact news. There's no point. It doesn't affect the markets in any way. Have a quick look through, see if there's any PMIs or CPIs, because they will spark the market, but sometimes they're shown as medium when really they should be red letter. Okay. There's none of that, so we'll flick that down. All we're left with is a US jobless claims at 130. Nothing to worry about. Looks like all the spark has gone. Okay, so what does that leave us with? Well, the asset of the week is gold. Whether you're trading spot gold or the pair, it doesn't really matter. The pre-analysis on it is it's pretty much still looking to buy. But let's see why it's going to buy. So if I drop, or at least I will do when I switch it on, a chart on, and we look here. Yes, normally when you have a heavy move, which we did yesterday, it pushed up massively, very quickly from 130. FOMC did nothing. But what we can see here is it's pushed up, but it hasn't come down aggressively. But it has come down that it's testing off the moving average, but directly below that moving average are some key levels. Now, those key levels could be areas of attraction for a bounce. which is here, if that is going to continue. But let's step this out a little bit further, just so we can see it. We still got a lot of strength and pressure in this move, and we can see that here. Definitely see it up on the pressure wave of the Bollinger Band. And what we've got is we're coming off what's called stage 1. It's gone into flare. It hasn't quite gone stage 3. And the strength is still in it in the 4 hour. Now, if I drop it into the hour, well, the strength has definitely gone on the hourly. So it is starting to weaken off. And there is a move in direction. However, as we come down through it, that direction hasn't jumped massively. It's still there. So again, this is in stage 1. So it's ready for another move. So what you can take into that is, if it's going to bounce, it's going to bounce here. So you've got to decide what you want to do, but it looks like it's got more buy in it than it has sell. So it'll work between these two. For me, if that's the situation, all I'll do is I'll just follow candles down and then look for it to push higher. But it's a very dangerous market at the moment, but I'd be more inclined to buy it. Now, what I'm going to do for the squad now is I'll do a full analysis of it, write it up, put it in the Discord, and then monitor it throughout the day. Okay, guys, hope you have a good one. Catch you soon.